Good afternoon all. Welcome to CAD Technologies. Today we'll be working on surfacing module. We have seen a lot of examples in part modeling. So we'll slowly slide into surfacing and sheet metal. So as you can see on the screen, we have a drawing with three views, and understanding the views is the first thing which we do in all our videos. You can check our videos out. So firstly, with understanding our views, there are three views. This is a third angle projection, but instead of projecting the front, the right and the top, the drawing actually is front, right and the bottom, because the features whatever you are seeing here are actually describing the bottom side of your body. Upper side we only have the conic shape or the arc shape, so we prefer not to take that view and rather take the bottom view for better understanding of the actual model. Now, the reason why I have said this is in surfacing is because there are a combination of various shapes. Like there is a circle and there is an arc. You can see that there is an arc here as well there is an arc here. And you can see on the right view that it has to maintain the cylindrical shape as well as the top shape. In the front view, it is an easy understanding of how it looks like. So, shall we begin making this model? Now, let's get back to our tool, which is Catia, CAD tool. Under Start, since we are working on surfacing, under Mechanical Design, you have Wireframe and Surface Design. So, when you click on this, you will be entering into a workbench wherein you can work on the surfacing module. Now, in Catia, if you are working on the surfacing module, we need to make the sketch prior to using any of your commands. So let's try to work on that and then slowly get into how different commands work. First, I'd like to make this shape. I'll be using this view to do so. We know that is 30. So again, I'm trying to use my front view. We know the shape is 30. Since it's cylindrical, of course, when you see it from the front view, it will still be 30. So I'm taking the shape as 30. I am again working on surfacing. I will close the shape so it will be easy for me to merge or join both the surfaces and later remove all the unwanted material or surfaces. Now, let's try to create a revolve. As you can see, revolve usually requires an axis. So I'm just taking the vertical axis. It creates a revolve, or you can use give Z axis also. It's up to you. It takes the Z axis also. I wanted a complete rotation, so I'm just trying to give it a 360 and then say okay. This is the first circular shape which I've tried to make, which are with RS30. Now, the whole body is actually being controlled with this. So let's try to make that sketch first and then slowly make our way to controlling these shapes as well. So first we have 32 as an arc from here. I'll take the arc instead. This is the 32 arc which you can see in the drawing. Now, there is also an arc of R20 at the end and a line too. So let me try to take that line and then take R20 and then join these two. Of course, it's not exactly the way we want it to be. So let's give the dimensions and then control the body. This is 92. So let's try to control it by giving other dimensions first, better. And this is actually 4. And let's try to give the constraints as well. Move it up. This also should maintain tendency. It's already maintaining tendency with something else. Let me try to delete that tendency. Okay, let's take this and try to join them together. There was an issue with the tendency at that particular location. So I've taken 92 And then now I'm controlling my model by simply taking a line from here to here, and then I can give tangency. It took tangency at the long location, so I didn't want to disturb that. Let me delete this coincident. No. Similarly, the tangency should be here as well. So let me try to control that tangency as well, and then join these two. You can join them by using a simple trim command as well. This is your actual sketch, which is the outer shape. Now, when I exit, if I add material to this, it does not maintain this shape which I desire at the front as well as towards the end, which is at 92. So before getting into that, let us try to control the shape by making a sketch and using these as my references. This is my first reference. Using this as my reference, I need to control the whole body by maintaining the arc. This arc is supposed to be 32, which is already with reference to the previous sketch. Now, we have to maintain symmetry and then maintain the dimension in between these two as 32 as well. So first let us try to maintain the symmetry and then give the distance between these 2 points is 32. Now, we know that this shape should be towards the end as well. When you see it from the top, it has to maintain this shape. In that way, we can use a simple sweep command. Sweep is nothing but when if you want a uniform cross section to be following a simple guide, you can. We have a profile here and we have a path here. Of course, there are variations in your sweep. We are using the basic minimal one, and as you can see, it tries to add. So when you go into the top view or any other views, you can see the shape and which is being controlled in all the locations, including your front view. We have maintained the outer sketch as per the drawing. This is how you can control the profile in both the directions using your back as well as your front. Of course, we can close and start joining them together and using a simple line command. And then I can use a fill to fill all of these as well. I'm sorry. You can use fill and fill these as well. If you're familiar with extrapolation, everything, it will be a little more easier to work on. These two can be filled. Similarly, on this side, I'd like to control the whole body. Rather than making a sketch, I'm using a 3D line. And then I'd be using fill. Here, while doing so, I can control the whole body by using extrapolation. But here, continuity. But here, there's no continuous curves. So, smooth curves. So, I have to do it this way. And that's it. Now again I'd like to join these two. This is one. Now the 4 bodies, as you can see, 1, 2 and 3 surfaces, as you can see, is one single surface because I have joined them together. I need to join the bottom as well. So let me try to use the same fill command to join the bottom as well. You can create extraction here if you want. And then let's join this with the previous join. Now, all this is one body, all this is one body. So you can now trim off whatever you don't need off of the body using your trim command. Trim helps you trim both surfaces like you desire. You can remove whatever side of the element you like, and you can also remove the previous element you desire, showing that there's some kind of tangency. So you can see that they join together. Earlier they were as two separate objects. Now when you use trim, they become as one single object. As you can see, I'm doing Control Z now as Control Y. Now whatever rounds you want, you can start giving. Let me hide the curves. You can select all the curves and hide in one attempt also. Let us try to give rounds. Rounds are usually under your generative shape design. You can add them here too. I have customized it this way. So under this you have an edge fillet option wherein you can try to give fillets. I can just select both of them and try to give a fillet for you. this as well as this. Now, while selecting this, we just need to understand that there is a fillet of 4. So first I'll give it here, and then slowly I will give the fillet to this as separate fillets, because they might overlap and create the surface overlapping, and they might break the surface that way. I didn't want to risk it. This is your actual model. Now, understanding the drawing, it has been made as clear that there is a certain amount of thickness given to it, and these particular supports are added later. That means this body is actually a shelled body. So let us go into your part design to convert this into a solid first. Then all the other options will normally get highlighted, and we can start working on the same. So you have an option of converting this into a complete solid. Let us hide the surface. Hide the surface. Now you can see this is the solid. Now you can start working on your shell. This is similar to how we have worked on earlier in your part modeling itself. You can see. Now, since all of them are at the bottom view, I'd like to take the bottom view this way, and I'd like to show it to you. The features, whatever you are seeing, is actually starting from 4, because you can see that there's no material here. So let's try to take a plane at a distance of 4 and then begin working with the exact features. On the new plane, we can start making the addition of material. Now, since you are in part modeling, you can work inside your command as well. So I'm just taking this. The circle is supposed to be 16. From here it gets a little easier because we have been working on part modeling for a while. You can add the material up to the next. It adds to the next point. Similarly, there are supports. As you can see, we can do them as well. We have a stiffener command which can help you do that. You have to give it from the top, because the supports are from the top, and then you can start making your sketch using the same thing. Here I'd like to flip the model because I want to use these references and these references. Now, let me select all of them in one go and then use them as my references, and then start making my lines. So this is the first line which starts from here. We are giving supports at the moment, and the second line is at this location. I can maintain 60 from the center. I'd use an infinite line, which is a little more easier. The distance from this and this is supposed to be 60, so let's try to maintain that. Now take a line. Later it's easier to mirror the same, so starts from here, ends over here. We'll mirror this with respect to the center onto the other side. Once I exit, it tries to create the stiffener from the top. The stiffener is actually of 2, so I'll just give it as 2, and you can see there is a hole at the center also, which is of dia 12. It is not cutting through the body, but it is just till this face. So we can select the option as well doing that. So when I'm selecting the sketch, first let me try to maintain the concentricity and then exit. Now, selecting the profile, you can do it this way. You can give a depth, or you can unhide the surface and use the surface as well. So once you see, it drills the hole this way. Last but not the least, there are few rounds which we should give. As you can see, this R4 on the corner, which we have actually given. You have R1 over here as well. So let's try to give that R1 first, and then maybe get on with the other rounds. This is the other one, and this is the other one. This is just one. Similarly, rounds are on to this side as well. So when I give rounds, now the rounds will smoothly flow till there. So there won't be an issue. Rather than selecting multiple surfaces, it is easier to do this onto this side as well. Once you say OK, it tries to give the no. I'm sorry, other round was actually 1. Did it? Yes, it stayed in 1. This is your model. It looks exactly like the drawing. You can see by clicking on the isometric view. You can also go and check with the internal views. For more advanced level of surfacing and more exploration into generative sheet metal design, you can contact us. We provide a little detailed training in this. If you're willing to learn Catia in a basic level also, we can provide you with the basic level. The details of the same are given in the description below. You can contact us. Meanwhile, keep learning, keep supporting us, like our channel and subscribe. Thank you.